Top accolade news bringing you stories trending in Nigeria. I'm Ojorume Okocha. The headlines. Tinubu nominates new leaders for Nigeria's petroleum regulatory agencies. IGP orders nationwide redeployment of presidential escort officers to state command. Nigeria bans mineral processing in residential areas. Enugu State to honor Christian Chukwu with ESUT sports complex. In a decisive move to strengthen oversight and continuity in Nigeria's oil and gas sector, President Tinubu has put forward seasoned professionals to helm the country's key petroleum regulatory agencies. President Bola Tinubu has nominated engineer Saidu Aliyu Mohammed and Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, and Oritsemeyiwa Eyesan as Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, following the resignations of Engineer Farouk Ahmed and Benga Komolafe, who had held the agencies since 2021. Eyesan, a veteran of nearly 33 years at the Nigerian National Petroleum Company, brings extensive upstream experience, while Mohammed, a chemical engineer with decades of leadership in refining, gas, and LNG infrastructure projects, has also recently been appointed an independent director at Seplat Energy, with the Senate expected to consider their confirmations shortly. The nomination signals a strategic reset for Nigeria's petroleum sector because leadership in energy regulation shapes not just pipelines and policies, but the very flow of the nation's economic lifeblood. In a major internal reshuffle aimed at refocusing police resources on public safety, the Inspector General of Police has approved the immediate demobilization of officers attached to the No. 24 Police Mobile Force Presidential Escort at the State House, Abuja, directing their redeployment to state and zonal command across the country, according to a December 16, 2025 police signal issued by the Department of Finance and Administration at Force Headquarters and addressed to senior police leadership nationwide. The directive affects officers previously assigned to close protection duties at the Presidential Villa and others their return to command, including Adamawa, Kebbi, Kaduna, Anambra, Akwa Ibom, Bauchi, Benue, Borno, Bayelsa, Cross River, Ebonyi, Ekiti, the Federal Capital Territory, Gombe, and several others, with additional redeployment to multiple zones and formations, underscoring the scale of the internal reshuffle. The move follows President Bola Tinubu's November order withdrawing police personnel from VIP escorts and guard duties to strengthen core policing function as insecurity persists nationwide, with compliance already being monitored and alternative security arrangements put in place. The federal government has unveiled new regulations. The federal government has directed mineral processing companies to immediately cease operation in residential and restricted areas nationwide and mandated plastic manufacturers and bottling companies to take responsibility for plastic waste generated by their products, following resolutions adopted at the 18th meeting of the National Council of Environment held in Katsina State from December 15th to 17th. The council, chaired by the Environment Minister, approved the measures after reviewing growing environmental, health and safety risks linked to unregulated mining, plastic pollution, and urban exposure to toxic substances, while also endorsing the adoption of the Extended Producer Responsibility Framework, the strengthening of environmental impact assessment structures in all states, tighter controls on hazardous chemical in gold mining, improved air and water quality monitoring, and expanded sanitation and climate action initiatives. In a bid to celebrate sporting excellence and preserve Nigeria's football heritage, the Enugu State government has announced plans to immortalize late former Green Eagles captain and Nigerian football legend Christian Chukwu with a purpose-built sport complex at the Enugu State University of Science and Technology, as the Vice Chancellor, Professor Aloysius Michael Okoli, revealed that Governor Peter Mba has approved the project documentation as well as the 3D design for the proposed facility. The announcement was made while receiving ESUT athletes who returned from the Nigerian University Games Association Games, hosted by the University of Jos, where the institution recorded a strong showing with 13 medals, reflecting its growing emphasis on sports development and talent discovery. Professor Okoli said the ESUT management is taking concrete steps to position the university as a hub for nurturing sporting talent and a preferred campaign and competition venue for major sporting events nationwide, reaffirming a commitment to sustain investment in sport as a pillar of holistic education and youth development.